Yeah, people that previously worked with the CIA and the NSA have just, hopped over, become leading players at Google in this sort of government arm of it. This is all detailed in the articles that I've linked to. And you've got to remember that the NSA was, publicly outed as the intelligence agency that was monitoring, everyone's computers and telephones. And then earlier this year, it was just announced that Google's going to set up this spy force directly with them. So they're just basically, revealing what we already know. It's an open secret.
And we have Google that owns YouTube leading the Obama deception, and then restoring the Obama deception. And then now we have them censoring all these search terms that expose them for what they really are, which is a huge story. Let's talk about that when we come back with Steve Watson. This is key information straight ahead. Let's go back to Steve Watson. Steve, shifting gears into our own little war with Google. I noticed yesterday in the top 10 searches, and we have screenshots of this, the Washington Post Top Secret America was one of the top. Steve, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. I noticed that Top Secret America was one of the top searches. That was also deleted, and if you searched, it was nowhere in there. So it said cannot be found. And they knocked out our top search, Obama Spies. And so this shows they are actively in there blocking people finding out about how they're an NSA front.
Yeah, and the other thing to point out about that is some people have said that, well, the terms are just dropping out. But, there's no way that they're just dropping out, because if you go to the screenshots, which are in my article today, the top article on Prison Planet, take a look at the screenshots in there. It shows you the times where people began to search these terms, Google Spies, etc. And it shows you the spike in traffic, and it also shows you all the LinkedIn news articles, all the LinkedIn blog posts. That's the effect that it has. People start picking up on it, and people start writing about it on their blogs. And, this term Google Spies, which was linked to the story we wrote yesterday, we asked, all the listeners and everyone to search that to get it to the top of the trends chart. It went to the top. Half an hour later, it was nowhere to be seen. And if you searched for it, there were no linked news articles, there were no linked blog posts, which is impossible because, as you can see from the screenshots, there were already, loads of news articles and blog posts about this story. So that means that somebody who has access to Google Trends is going in there, knocking out these search terms that we're asking people to put in to elevate these important stories above the other meaningless stuff that's in there. And the fact that the terms that we're asking our listeners and readers to search are getting up to number one so quickly, and as you said, the Washington Post expose, which is a 2-year investigation into basically it compiles everything that we already really know, the open secret. But that was a major report. That was at number 9 when we screenshotted it, whereas the term Google Spies that we asked our listeners and readers to search was at number 1. So that shows the effect that this can have, the snowball effect, where people are picking it up, people are writing about it, linking to our original stories.
Well, that's exactly what's happening, Steve. And today I want to do it again. I'm not going to do this all the time. And I think it's important to listeners not spam. I don't think people should use a robot or a system that just keeps reloading it. Just yourself, a few times today, because I think that's all it takes. We have so many listeners. Go search the term Google launches, and then that might make it past their censors for a few more hours as well. But Google launches, and then that will take them to the story you've written, Top Secret America, Google launches cover-up of Google Spies story. So just search the term Google launches, Googlelaunches. If everybody will search the term Google launches, and then they'll find the fact that the story is Top Secret America, Google launches cover-up of Google Spies story, then they can see that Google is tied to this Top Secret America corporate takeover, this corporate coup d'etat of our entire infrastructure, and it's an unfair trade advantage as well. And so we can really rout these people if we realize that we can, or we can roll over to their complete takeover. But please, search the term, everyone, Google launches. Google launches. And at first it was 20, 30 articles on Sunday about this. Then it was hundreds yesterday. It's hundreds of articles about the Obama deception, about their censorship, about everything. And we're really showing people what we can do when we take action. So everyone, and you watch, by the end of the show, it's going to be the #1 search, Google launches. Google launches. And they're going to hate it when it's not Lindsay Lohan. They're going to hate it when it's not Mel Gibson. They want to keep you focused on stupid stuff like that instead of 850-something thousand highest-level security clearance, private corporate globalists, crooks, with the highest level security clearances overthrowing America. Going back to Steve Watson. Steve.
Yeah.
I think this is really showing us, though, not only how much Google censors and tries to protect themselves and cover up the crimes they're committing, spying on everybody illegally, but it also shows how they are protected, and it also shows the power the people have to fight back when they stand up.
Yeah, this is the info war. This is the epicenter. If people, this episode has shown that if everyone takes action, if everyone takes, it's not even that difficult to search these things. If everyone does that, gets them to the top of these trend charts, even if they try and censor them, even if they do censor them, we write stories about them censoring them. They have to censor the stories about us, about, the censorship. So this is the info war. People have got to take on this snowball effect and run with it.
Well, that's a good point. The globalists have learned that when we win victories against NAFTA highways or surveillance or wars or tyranny, that we then think we're dumb, are done and go home. But they understand it's a war. They always keep pushing and pressing and never stopping. We have to be the same way. This is like a boxing match. You don't punch them one time and they fall over. This has got to be an ongoing rolling with the punches and whoever wants it most.
It has, yeah. And we've documented how we wrote an article recently called "The Lights Are Going Out" for the internet. And that's got, several links to several articles we've written about all the different ways that the internet is being attacked. And if, let's face it, if we lose the internet, half of the battle is lost, because it is, the modern day equivalent of the printing press. It is freedom, electronic freedom. There's no other way that we can reach as many people as we can if we lose this. So we've got to focus on, fighting this long war, fighting these battles, winning these battles. But, the job's not done. The job's never done. We can have small victories, but they're going to come back and they're going to throw more at us. So we've just got to focus down and keep going.
Well, that's it, Steve. Resistance is victory, and history has shown that. And the globalists built the internet. The NSA joked more than 20 years ago. They called it worldwide wiretap. That was their joke. What WWW stood for was worldwide wiretap. And even though it's their grid and their system, alternative media has now, a year ago in the statistics, supplanted and is bigger than mainstream media, and it's only swinging more in our direction. So the system, the mainstream media, government, and corporations, the top corporations are teaming up to not just destroy the web, but to destroy the free web and create a plastic corporate facsimile of it, a shadow of it, and they're advertising it as trendy and glitzy and Internet 2. But as they've said for 10 years in Internet 2 meetings, they always start the meetings by, the Internet is dead, long live Internet 2. So they get us addicted to the web, then they kill the old web. It's kind of like the big bankers come in and put toll roads on existing roads. They're just coming in and taking over our internet right now, and it's so outrageous. If we stand up and speak out against it, they're not going to get away with it. I mean, Australia's starting to back off net censorship, they said, for at least a year. Italy's starting to back off a bit because the public isn't going along with it, and none of us need to go along with this. We need to say no, 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 and point out what's happening here.
Yeah, and it is, like you said, the internet was started, it was invented by the Pentagon, by the military, and they now refer to it as the illegitimate child, the one that got away, because the people have taken over the internet.